My project today on the program is to talk to you about certified peanut seed update. And I want to get to that. We're going to talk about peanut seed acreage comparison between 2016, 2017, and this is for certified seed acreage. We're going to talk about briefly about the benefits of planting certified seed. And I want to give you a seed quality update based on some information that we got Tuesday from the State Seed Laboratory, and a few words about the Seed Lab Advisory Council. You'll notice there on that first line that we inspected about 17,000 acres more seed peanuts in 2017 than we did in 2016. That's, I believe, is the largest acreage of peanuts that we've ever inspected, and went very well. Isolation is still our big problem. What we do is based on genetic identity and purity and maintain the variety. What now? I can hear you. Can you hear me now?
Better.
Okay. I'm sorry. Let me get this adjusted. I'm like Garfield the cat. I'm not short. I'm just under tall. So maybe that's better. And so isolation is our biggest issue and problem because peanuts do some outcrossing, and we have a plan there when we plant two varieties too close together. We've got our field inspections completed this year in September, and I will. I'm sorry. And I will compliment those people who are at the peanut buying points and places like that they were well prepared this year, and we had a pretty efficient system. I can talk louder, but it's going to hurt. Is that better? Is that better? Green shirt? Yeah? Okay. All right. So after we completed our field inspection, then we had 52 approved buying points that we inspected, where we checked for storage location conditions and that sort of thing. And then currently we're going around and we're inspecting peanut shelling facilities to make sure they're in compliance with our rules and regulations. I thought this would be an interesting slide for you. It shows the comparison acres inspected per variety for 2016, 2017. And as you know, Georgia 06G is still our leading variety with over 90% of the acres we inspect, thus the acres you plant, being in that particular variety. And then, of course, Georgia 09B, and then the acreage falls off pretty dramatically after that. So I thought that would be of interest to you. We see an increase in farmer-saved seed. I think it's going to get continuously worse as time goes by. All of our past experience tells us that, yes, farmers can save seed and can have good quality seed, but more often than not, it's not good quality seed, and that's determined significantly by when you harvest and your storage conditions and all those sort of things. And so I want to caution those of you who might have an interest in saving your seed. We'd like for you to continue to purchase professionally grown certified seed. So obviously we have adapted and known varieties. We're never more than 2 generations from foundation material. And we do inspect for varietal purity. Those seed are conditioned in approved facilities that are inspected by our people to make sure they're not contaminating or mixing varieties. Storage conditions are adequate for quality. And all of the certified seed that you purchase has been tested by the laboratory, a seed laboratory, uses the state laboratory, and as such it meets the minimum germination and purity requirements. As I say, as of last Tuesday, a report from the Scott Hobby, the laboratory manager here at the Tifton lab. They had their biggest day last Tuesday. They completed and sent reports out on about 650 samples, which implies to us that that the industry is starting a little sooner than we normally do. Want to find out what they've got earlier in the year. That was their biggest day, and per Scott Hobby, it appears that we've got some really good quality germinating peanut seed this year, somewhere between the 85 and 95% range from germination. As many of you know, aspergillus was a problem last year, and as of now, he's not reporting that as a problem, except in a few isolated instances that were poor quality seed to start with. And so yeah, it's early, but we're optimistic and going to hold out that we're going to have a good year on quality. I want to say just a few words in closing about the Seed Laboratory Advisory Council. This was established by Commissioner Black in 2014 to work on some concerns that the industry had as far as the seed laboratory. We meet quarterly. We'll have representatives on there from peanut companies and from the Peanut Commission. Since 2014, we've been blessed by Commissioner Black taking a real interest in the laboratory and providing funding to hire a seed scientist position. They've increased their staff. They've got additional certified seed analysts. Mr. Hobby sends out a weekly report to those of us on the council, keeping us appraised of quality of the nuts and the number of samples he's receiving and any issues that might be developing that he can identify. He is sending samples to the Federal Seed Act Regulatory located in Gastonia, North Carolina, and they're known as referee samples. And so what they do is they compare what the state laboratory got on germination to their laboratory, and about 95% of those are within the allowances. So what that tells us is that they're doing an excellent job and giving us good, reputable reports. And they've installed a greenhouse so they can do some grow-out tests, such as last year they did some testing for aspergillus and some other things, and see get a little better handle on issues and problems. And they're in the process of establishing a new DNA testing lab that will provide some useful tools to Mr. Hobby, particularly on variety, identity, and some other issues there. So we're real proud of the council and how it's been moving forward and working with the laboratory. So if any of you ever have any issues, Mr. Hobby would certainly like to talk to you about it. He's accessible, so make contact with him. And with that, that's all I have. I thank you for your time, and see you next year.